ground here instead of the white clouds. That's going to allow for this line of storms to tap into a little bit more heat, a little bit more juice, and pick up some more oomph as they move right over Chicago. It's all because of this jet stream dip. That dip is the leading edge. It's that cold front, and as that front goes through, not only is it picking up moisture out ahead of the system, but it's also going to really change that weather picture behind the system. The thunderstorms move through, and the cool air moves in. But today, we're going to be watching those thunderstorms right over the Midwest, Kansas City, Chicago, Detroit. You're in the red zone today. Minneapolis to Fargo, a secondary round of severe weather there. Kate, over to you.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about the South because we've got that going on to the north. This is a look at St. Augustine, Florida. Not too shabby right now, 78 degrees, but you are in for not a great weekend. I know a lot of folks trying to visit the oldest city in Florida, but we're not going to be seeing great weather for it. This is what's going on with the coastal system happening this weekend. Actually, first we're going to go ahead and talk about this kickoff forecast. This is going to be for FSU versus the Clemson Tigers. 78 degrees, hit or miss thunderstorms. We'll see how that #1 team does against number 22. See if they can defend their title. That's at 8 o'clock tonight in Tallahassee. But will it be a rainout? Let's talk about what's going on here. We've got this spin in the atmosphere. Talk about something amazing out there. We've got this low that's developing. So you may be looking at this and saying, hey, I see a little spin to this. It's questionable. Is this going to be something that's tropical that we need to worry about? I'll get to that in a second. First, let's talk about this moisture that's moving on shore because Southwest Florida, you're about to get soaked. If you're on North Captiva, if you're in Fort Myers, down through Coral Gables, even in Miami, you're going to be seeing some pretty wet weather on tap. And look at what's going on from Wilmington down south to Charleston, Savannah. We're talking about Tybee Island here. You've got rain in store. Hatteras, you're already getting a soaker this morning. So this system, here's the deal. While it is a low that is developing, it is not anticipated to become tropical, and here's the reason why. Now, we've got a lot of dry here coming out, actually being pulled in from Atlanta and then into the Panhandle. So this actually means a pretty nice looking forecast for much of the southeast. It's just right here along the coast that we're going to see those problems. But the reason that this is not tropical is because it's anticipated to stay a cold core system and not a warm core system. So it's going to be right there on the cusp. That's why the National Hurricane Center has been watching it. But it's expected to stay cold core, which would mean that it's not technically tropical and that we are not going to see a tropical cyclone form from that. But it is going to hang out here and it is going to cause a lot of rain. So similar issues to if it was a tropical system. It's still not completely out of the question, but just not likely. Cold front is going to sweep down from the northeast. This is going to pull this in that direction. So we see that little dip pull that low north, finally giving you a little bit of a break from the rain. It's just not going to happen today or even tonight. You keep those showers and thunderstorms focused from the Florida Peninsula up all the way through the coastal Carolinas into tomorrow. Mark?
And Kate, all that dry air over Atlanta is music to your ears if you love music, because there's a huge festival in Atlanta this weekend. John Mayer, Lorde, these guys, Imagine Dragons. Well, maybe not that guy. Woo! He was there last night. This was Imagine Dragons last night at Piedmont Park. And you know what? You're going to be there again today because the music is a two-day festival and the weather's going to be pretty good tomorrow as well. In fact, take a look at the tower cam over Atlanta. A couple of those fair weather cumulus clouds, no big deal for the city, but we're looking at the view of downtown from the top of the Coca-Cola World headquarters there in downtown Atlanta. Looking pretty good from that view.
And
that's
tonight,
for sure.
You get a little chicken fried.
You do.
Cold beer on them. That's Zach Brown Band.
Or
sorry.
you get Eminem because they're playing at the same time.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. You have to pick.
Yeah. Country or rap, you pick.
Yeah, we've got Greg Allman going on as well in Atlanta tonight. So it looks pretty good. You can see the forecast. It's going to be around 80 degrees, sunshiny, good weekend to get outside and enjoy this last weekend of summer. But where else do we have music festivals going on?
Yeah, you know what? Nashville, how about this? Combining music and food. Doesn't get anything wrong with that, right? Music City Food and Wine Fest. You've got plenty of sunshine through the day. The headlining acts will see clear skies and temps in the low to mid 70s. Looks perfect there.
Looks gorgeous. I wish I was there. And I also wish I was here. How about the Wine and Food Festival? This is going on in Rhode Island this weekend. And you can see the temperature is going to be in the 60s. So maybe a light sweater needed, but nice to say that's some good weather for maybe a nice bold red.
What's your favorite type of red?
I enjoy a Pinot Noir.
Okay, all right.
Just saying. I think it'd be a good time to enjoy that in Rhode Island.
All right, we are following lots of festivals and Hot Air Balloon Fest when we come back.
This program brought to you by Lexus and your Lexus dealers, continuing the pursuit of perfection.
The 6-cylinder, 8-speed Lexus GS with more standard horsepower than any of its German competitors. This is a wake-up call.
Lowe's presents how to make your guests think they're at the wrong house.
Wow.
Told you we're in the wrong house.
Go.
Mom!
Get 15% off in-stock Level or blinds. Plus, have them cut to width for free.
Take a deep breath in and exhale. And a gentle wave-like motion. Liberate your spine. And reach. Toes blossoming.
Not that great at yoga.
Yeah, but when I slipped a disc, he paid my claim in just 4 days.
4 days?
Yep.
Find out how fast Aflac can pay you at Aflac.com.
Monday on America's Morning Headquarters, a bucket list destination is on the verge of vanishing. Which one of our national parks is literally evaporating? And we're looking forward to fall, what you can expect this season in your part of the country. It's Monday, 7 a.m., the biggest weather hour anywhere. America's Morning Headquarters, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms accompanied by locally heavy rainfall at times. High 84. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, premiering October 5th on the Weather Channel.
California is known for its grapes, and so is my family. Our grapes ripen on the vine where the flavor's fully developed to bring the best quality fruit to your table. That's why we work with Walmart, so you get the freshest grapes available, backed by their 100% money-back guarantee.
Okay, Patrick, one more stop. Let's go base, shark, blitz. Base, shark, blitz.
When the game's on the line.
Okay, this is for the game.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
Flag 19's on. Abort, he's keeping it.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
My name is Daniel. I have diabetic nerve pain. The pain felt like my feet were on fire. I had these very burning, needle-like sensations. I knew I needed to see a doctor. My doctor said, let's try Lyrica. Lyrica has helped relieve my pain.
It's known that diabetes damages nerves. Lyrica is FDA approved to treat diabetic nerve pain. Lyrica is not for everyone. It may cause serious allergic reactions or suicidal thoughts or actions. Tell your doctor right away if you have these. New or worsening depression or unusual changes in mood or behavior, or swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, changes in eyesight including blurry vision, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or skin sores from diabetes. Common side effects are dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, and swelling of hands, legs, and feet. Don't drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. Don't drive or use machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. Those who have had a drug or alcohol problem may be more likely to misuse Lyrica.
Having less pain, it's a great feeling.
Ask your doctor about Lyrica today. It's specific treatment for diabetic nerve pain.
At some point, no one was coming to help us. We needed to help ourselves.
A nightmare vacation has finally ended for a group of firefighters and their families from Illinois. Trapped in a hotel for Cabo for days without power, some of the firemen even stayed up at night to block their hotel rooms from looters. The resort town of Cabo San Lucas is still trying to recover from Hurricane Odile, and locals are desperate for food and supplies as big parts of the region are still without water and electricity. Tourists have struggled all week just trying to get home. NBC's Joe Fryer is in Cabo with more.
This popular destination perched on a peninsula is no longer a magnet for tourists.
Cabo's destroyed, completely destroyed. There's nothing left.
A swift punch by Hurricane Odile was felt up and down the coast, a night Lauren Van Horn won't forget.
Really horrifying. It's a really high-pitched whistle and lots of banging noises as things are flying and hitting. We could hear pieces of the roof falling off, being ripped off.
At a private airport, hangars were leveled and planes twisted like aluminum cans. After major looting this week, the police and military now stand guard over stores and gas stations. Power is out, resorts are closed, and tourists are fleeing. Van Horn waited in line for 6 hours at the airport before catching a flight to Los Angeles.
We were on a Delta plane that fit about 150 passengers, and it was amazing to see them and get on that plane.
Throughout the week, tens of thousands of tourists have come here to the Los Cabos airport looking for a way out. Now, finally, the long lines here have vanished as those looking to escape have been evacuated by plane.
We're going home.
After catching flights on military and commercial aircraft, many tourists returned home to the United States. Nick and Ashton Forsyth are back in Chicago, and the first thing they'll do...
Hug the kids. Hugs and not let go.
We're here at the airport, which was hit hard by the hurricane. This is the kind of damage we've seen just about everywhere we've gone. But here at the airport, some good news. It appears nearly all of the international tourists, including Americans who are trying to fly out of this battered paradise, have been evacuated. However, we just ran into a small group of 4 people who say they are still trying to catch a flight today to get back to Sacramento. Back to you.
All right, let's go ahead and take a live look at Cabo San Lucas, where you can see it is beautiful right now. Much needed break from the weather they saw over the last week from Odile to give them time to recover. However, Tropical Storm Polo just to their south. So what's the deal with this tropical storm? I want to go ahead and break this down for you so you know what is going on in your tropical update here. This Tropical Storm Polo has really seen some things happen to it over the last 24 hours that are very good news. So the winds really picked up in the upper atmosphere, so kind of the top layer of the cake there, where we have the winds out of the east going to the west, and it's blowing off the top of these thunderstorms, which means that the shear is happening. It's making all those thunderstorms, forcing them basically on the southwest side of the circulation. So the circulation is right here. Thunderstorms focused on this side, which means with its current path, even these 45 mile an hour winds expected to stay well off of Cabo's coast. Most of these thunderstorms going to stay in that area as well. Could see 1 or 2 bands wrap through that area. All in all, not a terrific looking forecast, but it could have been a lot closer, especially because the setup in the upper atmosphere was very similar to last week. One of the big changes, though, the water temperatures, Mark. We really saw things cool down, which really helped with this system.
And Kate, that setup is exactly what we're going to be talking about when we come back. It's been a very active tropical season in the Pacific this year, and coming up, we're going in depth on the storms in the Pacific and why it's causing so much trouble for folks in the Southwest. Plus, hurricane insurance, what you need to know before the season.
Lowe's presents how to install a new washing machine with one finger.
Maybe a little more that way.
Nice.
Now get 10% off all major appliances, $3.99 and above.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
You can search hotel sites for so long that your hair goes out of style. Or use Kayak to search hundreds of hotel sites to find the best deal in seconds. Kayak. Search one and done.
There it is. This is where I met your grandpa. Right under this tree.
Some things are worth holding on to.
They're hugging the tree.
That's why we got a Subaru.
Was it that tree?
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
You know what my business philosophy is, Reynolds?
No, not exactly.
To attain success, one must project success. That's why we use FedEx One Rate.
They're flat rate shipping.
Exactly. It makes us look top-notch, but we know it's affordable. Honey, haven't I asked you to please
We
use the
don't have a reception entrance.
Ship a pack via FedEx Express Saver for as low as $7.50.
There's only 2 episodes of Fat Guys in the Woods left.
Yeah, let's do this.
Tomorrow night at 10. The Weather Channel's taking a family of fat guys into the weather.
The only thing that we do have in common at this point is we're starving. You see it?
When you compare the top speed of DSL from the phone company with the top speed of Comcast Business Internet, well, there's really no comparison. Why pay more for less? Call today for a low price on speeds up to 150 megabits per second and find out more about our 2-year price guarantee. Comcast Business, built for business.
For 12 months. So call 888-4CHAMPION today, because every home needs a champion.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, premiering October 5th on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms with locally heavy downpours. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms early, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Some sad news here. The body of a missing Texas sheriff deputy has been found. Senior Deputy Jessica Hollis's body was pulled from Lake Austin yesterday. She was checking a low water crossing when she herself was swept away in her patrol car by flooding. And in about 10 minutes, we're going to show you just how dangerous just a couple of inches of water can be if you are caught in a flash flood situation. And of course, a lot of that flash flooding came right back to the tropics. Here in the lab with Dr. Greg Postel, and we're talking about the tropics and the real differences this year between the two basins, the Pacific and the Atlantic. Very different seasons so far.
Yeah, it's been active in the Pacific, even more so than average, and not so active in the Atlantic. Look at the tracks of both tropical storms and hurricanes over both basins, the red being the Pacific, the white the Atlantic. You can see it's a tale of two areas, really. I mean, look, there's 17 total storms in the East Pac and 5 total in the Atlantic. It's a factor of 3, at least.
And it seems like a lot of the Pacific is covered up with those red tracks, but that's not the whole story. You have to compare it to what you would normally see to this time of year. And that's what this graph does.
Yes, this is a graph, a time series of what's called ACE, accumulated cyclone energy, which is essentially a measure of the wind energy in a storm, and that the duration of the storm is a factor. So it's how much cyclonic activity or hurricane activity has been in a particular basin. And this is the Pacific, and here is the time on the bottom going through the decades up to present. And here is the average value mark right in there.
Yeah.
And this year,
above average. So this is to date. We could maybe go even higher compared to average, or lower, as the case may be, as we go through the rest of the season. But it has been active. And you know what? If you've been in the Southwest, you've known it's active. I mean, we kept getting flood video like what we saw in the Phoenix area from Norbert. That was some intense video. All that water had to do with the amount of flooding. So, Doc, we want to go into what gives that real setup. Why are we seeing so many storms over there this time?
That's a good question, and nobody knows for sure, but there are elements of the puzzle that we can kind of sort through now. And there's been an upper-level pattern in the atmosphere that's been pretty, I say, supportive of tropical development in the Pacific. If you look at our map here now in MAX, you can see that we've got, basically, we've seen for most of this hurricane season, strong upper-level divergence over the Pacific region that has helped lift the air a little bit, make it more humid, more favorable for thunderstorms and tropical systems there, and not so much here.
Yeah, so if you think about the atmosphere up and down, if you spread out the top, the bottom has to bubble up and fill in, and so you're getting all that lift and that rising motion, and that's led to storms across the Pacific.
And subsidence over the Atlantic has been a dominant theme.
All right, Kate, back to you.
All right, Mark. Well, every hurricane season, we remind you to prepare your house and your family ahead of time. But what about after the storm? Meteorologist Keith Carson talked with Nationwide insurance expert Pete Lohr to find out what needs to be insured before it's too late.
Well, most people don't think about insurance until it's too late and they already need it. And if you're in a hurricane-prone area, you might want to start thinking about that right now. Joining us now is Pete Lohr, Associate Vice President of Claims for Nationwide. And Pete, you're going to guide us through what you can do before, during, and after a storm. Let's start with before.
Sounds good. We recommend that you read your policy, fully understand what is covered, what may not be covered. If there's any ambiguity, we recommend getting in contact with your agent to have it fully explained to you. Also, you want to make sure what your deductible and the policy coverages fit your needs.
All right, thanks, Pete. And, you know, we always tell people to have their homes and belongings ready before a storm. What else can they be doing?
Well, one of the hardest things to do is remember what you had in your house. We recommend go ahead now and inventory your personal property, all your contents. It's easy to videotape and do a record of what you have. One of the things I personally do is I staple my receipts on the big purchases right to the owner's manual, so I keep track of when, where, and how much I paid for the item, and it helps with that inventory list in case you have at the time of a loss.
A very organized man. Now, what should people know up front about what is and what is not covered in a hurricane situation?
Well, it really depends on the type of policy you have, because there's a lot of different policies out there. And again, what we recommend is get with your agents, make sure that you have the coverage you need and the policy that fits best with what your needs are.
All right, thanks, Pete. Appreciate you joining us. Some great advice.
Thank you.
All right, well, more rain is coming down in the southwest today. It surely will mean more flash flooding in the region, so we're taking a moment to make sure you know what to do. We are going to go step by step and show you how to survive. Plus, storms firing up in the southeast today can make a mess of your weekend plans. That next.
Toaster strudel. More fruit in the filling. Yeah. Yeah. Warm, flaky, gooey. Toaster strudel.
Now with more fruit.
Boston Market has food that makes you feel good, starting at $5.99. With salads and sandwiches, market bowls, and your favorite meals, all featuring our signature rotisserie chicken. Come to Boston Market today, where good food meets fresh thinking.
You get sick, you can't breathe through your nose. Suddenly, you're a mouth breather. A mouth breather. How do you sleep like that? You dry up, your cold feels even worse. Well, put on a Breathe Right strip and shut your mouth. Cold medicines open your nose over time, but add a Breathe Right strip and pow, it instantly opens your nose up to 38% more. So you can breathe and do the one thing you want to do. Sleep. Add Breathe Right to your cold medicine. Shut your mouth and sleep right.
In the nation, the safest feature in your car is you. Add Vanishing Deductible from Nationwide Insurance and get $100 off for every year of safe driving, which for you shouldn't be a problem. Just another way we put members first, because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Make your Halloween come to life. Twizzler has your tricks and treats with Twizzlers. The twist you can't resist.
Bridgestone's new Drive Guard tires are engineered to take a puncture and go up to 50 miles.
We can drive 50 miles on a flat, and you have an app that makes nails pop up. Yep. We could rule the world. But I've got carpool at 3, though, so that time we could, like, mess with the world.
You guys are good to go? Let me just get this out of here. Unlike some places, we don't just change your oil. Our oil offer comes with a 4-tire rotation and a 27-point inspection. And everything looked great.
Actually, could you leave those in?
Sure. Want me to run them through the car wash for you, too? No, I can't.
Get our everyday price match guarantee plus a $100 rebate on 4 select tires from your tire experts. Chevy Certified Service.
Sensitive skin needs a little extra attention. Venus Embrace Sensitive, more than a strip, an entire ribbon of gliding gels surround 5 comfort-coated blades for less irritation. Venus Embrace Sensitive, a perfect match for sensitive skin.
Monday on America's Morning Headquarters, a bucket list destination is on the verge of vanishing. Which one of our national parks is literally evaporating? And we're looking forward to fall, what you can expect this season in your part of the country. It's Monday, 7 a.m., the biggest weather hour anywhere. America's Morning Headquarters, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms with locally heavy downpours. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms early, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, premiering October 5th on the Weather Channel.
Well, it's a college football Saturday. A great slate of games going on across the country.
Yeah, but Mother Nature could crash the party here at the Big House. That's where we're looking at taking a look in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Severe weather possible for today's matchup against the Michigan Wolverines and the Utah Utes.
You wouldn't know it right now other than the wind's moving around, right? You can see the trees moving, the flag is kind of whipping around. So that's kind of that southerly wind out ahead of what could be big storms later on.
Oh, yes. And we've got a neat fact for you.
Yeah, how about this? Michigan was hoping to use a drone to fly in the game ball and fly into the game because it's the 100th anniversary of the school's aerospace department. But the FAA said, I don't think so.
Yeah, and it's not because of the threat of bad weather even, because look at the radar right now.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's because of a temporary flight restriction. We see those over stadiums on game day.
Yeah, so the FAA was not having any of that. The 2-1 Michigan Wolverines taking on the Utah Utes at home today, of course. And you know what? They're in the red zone today. We've got bright red colored in, wind and hail the biggest threat, isolated tornado threat, but it's not really going to be the perfect setup for tornadoes.
Yeah, our Torcon level isn't that high today, but still something that we're looking ahead at. Let's go ahead and get you to who's there. Guess who is there today? Take a look at this. It's our own Stephanie Abrams.
Yeah, you sound like the announcer. Whoever's at the game, the Michigan game, is going to be a little bit worried that you're coming after their game. But yeah, Stephanie's going to be at the game. The halftime show, weather-related, so Steph gets to be a part of it. I'm a little jealous, although as a Rutgers fan, Big Ten matchup.
Life goal, I want to announce for the Missouri Tigers.
Okay.
At least just one game. Have me, please.
Well, it's out there now. It's out there in the world. Here's the forecast for the game. Spotty thunderstorms, as we've been talking about, but the wind could be the biggest factor.
Yeah, that could be a big one. Those winds out of the south-southwest, 17 miles an hour, makes a big difference for kickers as you're out there, and for QBs as they're throwing those balls.
Yeah.
You know, you get a little wind picking up, changes the game.
The timing gets a little bit off, and it's all about timing for those long passes. And of course, you're watching Weather Center Live, and during the show, we want to see how you're spending your weekend.
I love this one. This one was sent to me on my Facebook page with #YourWeekend, and this is where I want to be right now. Yeah.
Yeah, don't you wish you had smell-o-vision? It's the new 4D TV where we get to smell what is on the screen as well. Thomas Murphy has been really out all night with his smoker, barbecuing in Northern Virginia. That slow cooked, the slow heat of smoke.
Ooh,
jealous.
Smoked meats, yes, please. All right, well, let's take you live to Minneapolis because we have some baseball fans that need to know the forecast today. So you're taking a look here, not too shabby right now, looking very nice for your forecast. But we are expecting to see some thunderstorms later today. Let's get right to these weekend storms. I want to get you prepped. I want to get you out the door, especially for this game, so I can let you know what the forecast is looking like for it, because it is the Cleveland Indians versus the Minnesota Twins, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit of an iffy looking forecast for you. You've got hit or miss thunderstorms for that game that happens at 7:10 tonight. The deal with this is that you're going to be noticing 73 degrees, those rolling in, and you could see some damaging winds. That could be a problem for us. Right now, it's nice and quiet there. Look at these storms that we've been watching through northern Missouri, stretching across from Nebraska and then moving in. Now, these did have a severe thunderstorm warning on them earlier, so gusty winds, hail possibility there. We're going to continue to watch this area because it is moving right along I-29. Pawnee City, you're going to be up next. This is headed toward Maryville as well. Maryville, Missouri, you know that. St. Joe, you're up in the next hour or so as this chugs along to the south. Look at this. The hail size reported 1.3 inches here in portions of Nebraska, you can see there. So we did have those popping up, and this is what's causing all this. So we've got this dip in the jet stream, and you'll notice that this is coming on south, but also we're going to be seeing a little bit of a different movement later on. We're going to be following that along. First, we have to deal with this moist flow out of the south. It is ample, and that's going to add the moisture in the atmosphere that we need to help trigger some of these thunderstorms along this front that forms. So the deal with this low and this front is that's where we're going to see the showers and thunderstorms today. So on the back end of that low, we're going to be seeing that through Minnesota. Then we're on the front end along that cold front from Michigan stretching all the way back into Kansas City. You have the risk of thunderstorms. Those continue into tonight. You'll notice we're including most of Michigan through Chicago and then down into St. Louis, across Illinois, and then across I-70 into Kansas City there. So it's also about the northeast with this system because we're watching this system as it chugs along across the country. What we'll see tomorrow is the risk of thunderstorms through Pennsylvania and stretching into portions of upstate New York and then even down south into West Virginia. Heading into tomorrow night, the threat continues. So this is a multi-day event that we're watching closely, Mark.
And some of that moisture that's moving into the area started out in the tropics in the southwest, and more rain and flooding is expected in parts of Texas today because of that. But before we get to the forecast, we want to extend our sympathy to Travis County, Texas. The body of Jessica Hollis has been found, and she had been missing since Thursday night when she was swept away by floodwaters while trying to warn others of the danger in the area. But she couldn't beat it herself, and she was a highly trained member of the dive team.
I've heard about the floodwaters, but I've never experienced anything like this before. Jessica was a strong swimmer, so that goes to show you that a strong swimmer is no competition with fast moving water.
That fast-flowing water has a lot of power, and you can see that the car itself was swept off the road, putting Jessica in a very, very dangerous situation. She had to make that choice to leave the car, and she was swept away by those floodwaters. But how about this? Talk about a dangerous situation. You saw the tires spinning and kicking up the water. This driver, also in Austin, Texas, was spinning his wheels. Rescuers had to pull him out using a rope. Notice here, the water wasn't actually flowing that fast, or he would have had a much harder time walking through it. The water only came up to about his shins or his knees, and that is enough to really put you in danger. So he was actually lucky, despite his car being in that type of situation, because if that water was moving, it only takes 6 inches of flowing water to knock a person off their feet. A grown person, an adult, 6 inches, that's all it takes. And it could actually drown a person with just 6 inches of water. And then how about your car? 2 feet doesn't sound like that much. Your car is certainly taller than that, but with 2 feet of flowing water, it could float your vehicle. Plus, it's almost impossible to judge how deep that water is. And you know what? Here we spend so much time showing you what not to do. How about a shout out of what you should do? Bus 314 in the New Caney School District near Houston turns the street, sees all that water, and goes, I don't think so. Big old K-turn, finds a new way to go, and heads away from the water. And that is exactly what we tell you to do. Kate, over to you.
All right, Mark, let's talk about where we're going to be seeing some of that heavy rainfall and why that could be a problem for us. You're taking a live look here on this tower camera. This is Houston, Texas, where we do have some clouds hanging out there. You can actually see the shadow of them. If you look at the cars driving down the interstate, you can see how the shadow between the sun and the cloud there. Pretty neat stuff. But these thunderstorms are going to be a problem for us because we do have more rain in the forecast. And in Texas, this means some very heavy rain. This not anywhere near Houston that we're looking right now. This is actually out in West Texas. Abilene over to Midland, Odessa, just south of Lubbock. You've got these thunderstorms that have just been producing this tremendous amount of rainfall over the same area. Whenever you get rain that falls over the same area over an extended period of time, like this has happened, you have flash flooding concerns. So we actually had just now a new flash flood warning issued there. Now, accumulation 4.9 inches, and that's at this location south of kind of this bullseye, and this is a radar estimate. So this is not even necessarily fully accurate because we don't have rain reporting sites everywhere, but this is just in the last 6 hours. So that shows you how fast this rain is coming down, and it's just not moving. It's hanging out here. We've got this nice little just stagnant system sitting over Texas with ample moisture. You can see how the grays and the whites here indicating all that moisture, the purples and the blues here in Texas where we're getting that. Some drier air moving into the desert southwest, but this lingering stalled out front over Texas is where we're going to have a big problem as far as this moist flow goes. The showers and thunderstorms are going to continue there. So you want to go ahead and take a look at what's going on here because we're going to be looking elsewhere in the tropics next.
Currently in our area, 85 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms with locally heavy downpours. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms early, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I've been Claritin Clear for 8 days.
At the first sign of your allergies, doctors recommend taking one Claritin every day of your allergy season for continuous relief.
21 days. 14 days of continuous relief.
Live Claritin Clear every day.
Get relief with Claritin. Live Claritin Clear.
Remember the hassle of vacuuming before the Dyson DC-59 Motorhead? Before our direct drive cleaner head increased brush power to outclean the 5 best-selling full-size vacuums across carpets and hard floors without the hassle of a cord.
Average work pants versus a giant angry beaver. Duluth Trading Fire Hose work pants versus a giant angry beaver. Duluth Trading Fire Hose work pants. Tougher than an angry beaver's teeth. Get a pair. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
I got one shot. Let's go twins right, 24 stretch.
24 stretch, all diamond. Twins right, 24 stretch. All diamonds on 2 ready.
When the game's on the line.
Hit them with a hard count. See if they'll tip their hand.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
They're blitzing up the gut. Get out of the pocket.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
Discover card.
Hey, I heard you guys can help me with fraud protection.
Yeah, we help with fraud protection. We monitor every purchase every day and alert you if anything looks unusual.
Wow. You're really looking out for us.
We are. And if there are unauthorized purchases on your Discover card, you're never held responsible.
Just to be clear, you are saying frog protection, right?
Yeah, fraud protection.
Frog protection.
Fraud protection.
Frog.
Fraud.
Frog.
Fraud.
I think we're on the same page.
We're totally on the same page.
At Discover, we treat you like you'd treat you. Fraud protection. Get it at discover.com.
Some things are not what they appear to be. Other things are exactly what they appear to be. The 306 horsepower Lexus IS 350. As aggressive as it looks.
This Halloween calls for untamed fruit flavor. Jolly Rancher.
Let's do some fancy footwork. Tap into new territory with style. Step up the savings and learn some new moves. Yeah, let's tango. Here, even here. Then, let's take a bow. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Modern tile, major savings. 12 by 24 ceramic tile is now just $148 per square foot.
California is known for its grapes, and so is my family. Over 3 generations have taught us about growing the best tasting fruit. Our grapes ripen on the vine so that the flavors can fully develop, and only the most experienced hands harvest them to bring quality fruit to your table. That's why we work with Walmart. Together we guarantee you only get the freshest grapes available, backed by their 100% money-back guarantee.
Picked by farmers, guaranteed by us.
Well, goodbye summer indeed. This picture actually makes me a little bit sad. I'm not ready to say goodbye to summer yet, despite the fact that I love pumpkin everything. Lou Demers wrote this on his frosty windshield in North Yarmouth, Maine yesterday morning, where there was a low temperature of 37 degrees. Yeah, a little bit chilly. And of course, frost is just one of those signs that falls upon us. It officially arrives at 10:29 p.m. Eastern Time Monday night, with Tuesday thus being the first full day of fall. So enjoy the pumpkin coffee. It's finally time to drink it. Of course, fall color popping in several portions of the country, portions of New England, seeing some colors now as well as the Rockies. So you can find the color, although we're not really at peak anywhere yet, so plenty of time. And another sure sign of fall, it's this guy. Maybe. That guy, Niz, our winter weather expert, Tom Nizzle. He returns to the airwaves this Monday, so welcome back, Tom. You certainly will have lots to talk about in the next couple of months. Because you know what? The cool temps, they have already made a return. So let's go in depth here and show you where those temps are going to be quite chilly and why we're seeing those chilly temperatures. It all starts right now. 72 in Chicago, 74 in Indianapolis. You're not going to complain about temps like that. That doesn't feel too chilly, right? But it's about to change. Cold front is going to be sweeping on through, changing your wind direction. It's going to be coming out of the north, and that's going to allow for much cooler air to move into the area. We're really anticipating that cool down. So for today, 77 in Chicago, 82 in Des Moines, but that's the last of your warmth. Coming right with the season turning, 71 in Des Moines tomorrow, 64 in Chicago, and how about by Monday, Detroit only at 63. So those cool nights and warm days, a key component in the leaves changing color. Larry Bennett snapping this gorgeous picture of the brilliant gold shimmering in Colorado, that aspen gold, right? And yesterday on Wake Up with Al, Stephanie Abrams and Al Roker got a tip on another great place to enjoy fall foliage. It's the Afar Media's Joe Diaz explaining why Vermont needs to be on your list.
You know what I love about Vermont?
What?
It's simple. They keep things simple, they keep things uncomplicated, and everyone's down to earth. And Burlington's beautiful, located on Lake Champlain. Let's Go Sailing is a great adventure outrigger there.
Okay.
They'll teach you how to sail. In just a couple lessons, you think you're ready for America's Cup.
That sounds awesome. Going sailing and spotting the colors. And of course, you can track the fall colors. It spreads across the country. The U.S. Department of Agriculture website and weather.com has all the fall foliage info you need. Kate, over to you.
All right, myths and legends are common in the weather world, and most can be debunked by good meteorologists. But in Austin, Texas, science may actually support the I-35 course. The I-35 curse, I'm sorry. Carl Parker has the really cool details.
Floodwaters ripped through Austin, Texas this week, just like they did in 2013 and 2011. You'd think that would be good news for a city fighting their worst drought in recorded history.
We're just that one big rainstorm away, and everything will be okay.
But you'd be wrong. This water is long gone.
The majority of that water all drained into the Colorado River here in Austin and then has gone downstream. It's headed toward the Gulf of Mexico.
Locals call it the I-35 curse.
Many times we'll see storms develop along the I-35 corridor, along the escarpment, and then track to the east. So areas from I-35 eastward tend to get a lot of rain, where areas to the west don't get as much.
Austin needs that rain to fall west of I-35 and fill their lakes. When it falls to the east of 35, it's gone.
I think one of the images that's most scary to me is the trickle of flow that's coming into Buchanan that literally is the water supply for 1 million people.
But is there really a curse?
Well, it's not quite that simple.
John Nielsen Gammon is the Texas state climatologist.
That's the place where basically the terrain in Texas starts becoming interesting. You go from fairly flat coastal plains to what we call the Texas Hill Country. And so there's an extra bit of uplift for any air that's moving from the southeast.
The I-35 corridor really parallels what's called the Balcones Escarpment, and that's sort of a gentle rise in the landscape of about 300 to 500 feet.
500 feet, separating millions of people from valuable drinking water.
There is more rain in the forecast for Texas all the way through Monday, but you'll notice most of that stays far south Texas and then through the Panhandle and into West Texas. Could see up to 3 inches there.
Wait for awesome. Totino's Pizza Rolls get you there in just 60 seconds.
Yeah, girl. You know, I've been thinking about us. And, I just can't fight it anymore. It's bundle time. Feel those savings, baby.
And that's how a home and auto bundle is made. Better he learns it here than on the streets.
The miracle of bundling. Now that's progressive.
I'm Creek Stewart, Weather Channel survival expert. Every Sunday night, we're taking 3 regular guys deep into the woods. Are you serious? Where we'll teach them not just to survive,
make fire,
but how to truly live. Look at this caveman.
Show yourself what you're made of on Weather Channel Survival Sundays. At 9, it's So You Think You'd Survive. Then at 10, Fat Guys in the Woods. Every Sunday night on the Weather Channel.
Are you ready? Off the couch, into the weather.
Currently in our area, 85 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms with locally heavy downpours. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms early, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
There are 2 reasons why I need to keep an eye on my health. That's why I take Metabiotic, a daily probiotic.
With 70% of your immune system in your gut, new Multi-Health Metabiotic with Bioactive 12 helps maintain digestive balance and is proven to help support a healthy immune system.
I take care of myself so I can take care of them.
Experience the Meta Effect with our new Multi-Health Wellness line and see how one small change can lead to good things.
Bigger.
There's nothing I can't reach in my Subaru.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
You can search hotel sites for so long that your hair goes out of style.
Or use Kayak to search hundreds of hotel sites to find the best deal in seconds. Kayak. Search one and done.
Lowe's presents How to Work Out the Triceps.
Wow. Impress your guests. Your Choice bathroom faucets, now just $59 at Lowe's.
This is our new turkey cranberry flatbread before we craft it into a sandwich. The amazingly tender roasted turkey, always raised without antibiotics. The zesty cranberry mostarda. The freshly baked flatbread. But here's what you don't always see. The care and attention that goes into it. Because what matters most is the simple, delicious ingredients that make up the whole delicious meal made just for you. And this is our turkey cranberry flatbread sandwich paired perfectly with our autumn squash soup. Only at Panera Bread.
This is a Pip.
It's part of a Hershey's bar.
We break it.
We bite it.
We sneak it.
Lose weight just in time for the holidays.
Start now and lose up to 20 pounds by New Year's. That's like 2 dress sizes.
I'm Marie, and I lost 50 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Get a jump start with Fast 5. Lose 5 pounds in your first week or your money back guaranteed.
I never get tired of my friends saying, "You look amazing." I'm Erin, and I lost 30 pounds on Nutrisystem.
Order your 28-day My Way plan, now with limited-time seasonal favorites. And you'll get Fast 5, including 1 week of specially designed meals. Plus, you'll also get 1 week of energizing shakes and 1 week of Craving Crusher shakes free.
I'm Michelle, and I lost 41 pounds. It feels absolutely amazing to look in the mirror and know that that beautiful woman looking back is me.
There's never been a better time to get started.
Don't wait. Lose up to 20 pounds by New Year's. That's like 2 dress sizes.
Call 888-649-SIZE now.
On the shipping and even pay the return postage. Try NoNo risk-free today.
7 a.m. on AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Well, the United Nations issued a challenge to the Weather Channel, and we accepted.
The challenge: create a weather forecast for a date far in the future, September 23rd, 2050. Have you seen it? Well, the world is reacting. And what do our greatest minds in weather say that concerns them the most?
And how are nation's military strategists reacting to our perception of the year 2050?
Yeah, it's Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The Weather Channel is going to combine our resources, knowledge, and forecasting ability to address what the world's weather will be like decades from now.
It's Weather 2050, a special edition of Weather Center Live, Monday at 7 p.m. And of course, now time for your tropical update.
Hurricane specialist Dr. Greg Postel is in the lab. He's keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Polo.
Kate, thank you very much. And Mark, that's exactly right. Tropical Storm Polo is weakening and moving away from Baja and Mexico in general. Let's have a look at the latest advisory from the Hurricane Center. It's only a 45-mile-per-hour tropical storm right now, moving, I would say, almost west-northwest now. It's really beginning to curve that way, which is good news. It's about 150 miles away from the southern tip of Baja, and I don't think it's going to get any closer to them than that. There is where the lowest pressures are, you see. But look, all the big thunderstorms, they're out over here, thanks in part to some strong winds aloft that are pushing those storms off to the west. This thing is probably not going to bring much more than some clouds, maybe some showers or even a gusty wind or two to Cabo today. And that's good news. They don't need any more confrontations with tropical cyclones, that's for sure. But here's the cone from the Hurricane Center, making this thing a remnant low, likely in a few days. So that's good news. Then we can put Polo to bed. Now let's look over in the eastern Atlantic. You can see an area of disturbed weather. There's a tropical system that's come off of Africa. And a couple days ago, it had a shot, maybe a higher chance than it does now of developing. Now the odds have been reduced to only 10% of this thing turning into a depression or a named storm in the next 5 days on a track that would, regardless, would take it out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, really, there's no threat to the United States from this thing, so I'm not really worried about that. But I do want to now turn our attention to what might happen a week from now. You might think, a week? You guys don't know the weather a day in advance. How can you tell me what's going on in a week? Well, this is not really a weather forecast. It's more of a pattern forecast. And what the models are kind of telling us is that there will be a split flow in the jet stream over North America, meaning we'll have one branch of the high altitude flow like that, bringing actually a high pressure system and pretty nice weather over the Ohio Valley and Northeast. This is, again, about next weekend, maybe into the following week a little bit. Then there will be another little dip in the jet stream right in here called a subtropical jet. And that little dip in the jet stream will likely lower pressures a little bit in the Gulf of Mexico. So what we think we will have about then is a broad area of low pressure with some perhaps enhanced storminess over the Gulf of Mexico. Something to watch. We don't know the details yet. It's too hard to know if a tropical system is going to come out of it. But the idea is, you know, if you look at this over and over again, you get the sense that perhaps the Gulf of Mexico will be acting up a little bit, unlike it has really all year long. Guys, back to you.
And that is a change that I don't think anybody really wants to see happen. Of course, that is one of the big stories that we're following, but we have some breaking news right now.
Yes, we do. We're talking about a flood emergency going on right now in Texas. This is for Borden counties, but we also have Eddy and Howard counties involved here because we have seen over 10 inches of rainfall in spots.
Persistent, very heavy rainfall over this area through the past 12 hours or so has added up to as much as 10 inches of rain across the area. A bullseye of that very heavy rainfall has created a flash flood emergency across the region.
And we're talking about houses being having that water right up to their front doors. We've seen some areas that have water over roads. So there are a lot of roads that are closed in this region of Texas as well, and the Panhandle.
Yeah, Highway 180, 6 to 8 inches of water is running over the highway. Do not travel through this area unless you absolutely have to and you're told to by local emergency workers in the region.
The bad news is that the rain looks like it's going to be continuing in this area for the next little bit. It's not moving. It doesn't have, it's along a stationary front, and so by nature it is stationary, and that's where we're seeing that just dump down in that area.
We need you to stay with us. Another action-packed hour of Weather Center Live is coming up next.
We're going to tell you more about that flooding, and we're also going to talk about severe weather for the final weekend of summer and the impending arrival of fall.
Currently in our area, 86 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms with locally heavy downpours. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms early, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now, fans are getting fired up for today's big college football games. Thousands of tailgaters are firing up their grills in stadium parking lots. The problem is thunderstorms are trying to fire up as well.
Some of the biggest cities in the Midwest, Minneapolis, Kansas City, Chicago, Indianapolis, and Detroit in the red zone for possible severe weather. We're going to lay it out so you can see how it will play out.
I was in Iraq 10 years ago for 4 months with the Air Force, and this doesn't even compare to that. I thought that was crazy, very rewarding, but crazy. This takes the cake.
Crazy indeed, as people were marooned in Mexico. American tourists tell how Hurricane Odile turned their dream vacation into a terrifying fight to escape from Cabo. Get this, some had to use machetes to ward off looters. That story right here, right now on Weather Center Live.
And welcome to Weather Center Live. I'm Kate Parker.
And I'm Mark Elliott. And as you watch the show today, we want to see what you're up to. Send us your photos of your weekend using the hashtag #YourWeekend.
You got to do the symbol though, Mark. Hashtag.
Hashtag.
Hashtag. All right, look at this one. It's the West Coast where you're having a lot of fun in Oregon. Look at that.
That looks awesome.
Oh, this is from Bruce Smith. This looks like a ton of fun. Can we, all right, see you guys later.
Yeah.
We're heading to the
ride.
airport. That sounds like fun.
That is a good one right there.
All right, well, we also are going to be looking at some baseball games today, Mark. One of those is going to be the Chicago Cubs. You're going to be looking at Wrigley Field this afternoon.
But lots of people are there.
Ooh,
look at this camera, right? It is filled in. Game time is about an hour from now, I believe, and people are lining up, getting ready to file into the stadium. You got to grab that hot dog and make sure you know where your seat is, so people are there already. The problem is the Storms are going to try to get in there before the game has a chance to fully complete. So we are analyzing the severe threat for you across the Midwest. The weekend is going to feature some of these storms, and that could impact the game. Here's the official forecast for the game. The Dodgers and the Cubs, hit or miss thunderstorms. It won't be raining the whole time. This probably won't be a washout, but there could be a delay, and there could be some problems as you're heading back out into Wrigleyville, trying to go over to Goose Island after the game. You got to watch out for those storms. Maybe try to get an inside table as opposed to the patio because of the storm threat as we go through the rest of today. And here is the line of storms that is trying to make its way towards Chicago. Seeing this broken line of storms along the cold front, but new right now. Storms are starting to fire up well out ahead of that line. You see right in here we have a new storm into central Illinois, and that is the beginning of the real severe weather threat. We've seen the skies clearing out, or at least attempting to clear out over Chicago. More of that sunshine, more of that heat, more of that instability. And so storms are firing up right where the sun had broken out across Illinois, and that's why we are anticipating those storms for you during the game. The jet stream dove south already. It's knocking on the door, and it's really pulling up the moisture. All that southerly wind that you've been seeing has been increasing your humidity. That's the fuel for these thunderstorms. Cold front swinging on through will lift that moisture into the air and give you the condensation, the clouds, and then eventually the rain and the storms. So over the next couple of days, we're looking at that chance of severe weather, including today. Kansas City, Chicago, Detroit, all because of that cold front. Hail and wind, the biggest threats, but Kate, an isolated tornado can't be completely ruled out either.
So we've got that threat there, and then we've got folks that are trying to get out and celebrate the last weekend of summer. But this is in Tybee Island, Georgia, where you can see they're not going to be having a great time with that. Rain coming down there right now. You can see the water there on the lens. Let's get right to this forecast. I want to show you what's going on because this is kind of fascinating, and this is something that I find amazing with the weather. First, let's go ahead and touch on, we're going to go ahead and touch on this forecast for the game. This is going to be in Tallahassee. Hit or miss thunderstorms going on. This is the Clemson Tigers versus the Florida State Seminoles. The #1 team in the country. Will they be able to hold on to their spot? Well, they have to hold on to the football first. Hit or miss thunderstorms in the forecast in Tallahassee. The thing is that I think the forecast is actually improving there. So I think this is going to be a little bit of good news. Here's why. We've got this low that is developing off the coast of Florida. You can see it right here. You can see the motion here. This counterclockwise swirl on the radar. You've got just a ton of rain moving into Fort Myers. I'm telling you, North Captiva Island, Sanibel, Fort Myers, just don't plan on going outside today. It is going to be a soaker. It's just starting for you. It's lasting all day. This will go across Lake Okeechobee and then on up into the Treasure Coast, the Space Coast getting wet right now. You'll notice Jacksonville on up through Savannah into Charleston. You've got rain in the forecast as well. Even the Outer Banks getting these outer bands of this rainfall right now. So the thing is this tropical or is this not tropical? That is the question. Well, one thing's for sure. We sure have a lot of moisture involved. So we've got that going on right along the coast. You'll notice all this dry air that we have back here on the west side of the system. That is actually making for a really nice forecast for Atlanta, down south through the Panhandle into portions of Alabama. But some of this moisture will wrap a little bit back around. So you do have a little bit of rain in the forecast. But I think it actually looks pretty good for the most part. And the thing is the question is, like I said, is this tropical or not? And it's going to be a cold core system, just barely, but it looks like it's going to remain cold core. So it's unlikely that this will develop in any tropical nature. But the National Hurricane Center was keeping an eye on this yesterday, gave it about a 20% chance of development because it is that time of year. It's hanging out right along the coast. You've got warm ocean waters there. You just don't have the warm core that you need for a tropical system. Tomorrow, these showers and thunderstorms continue through the coast of North Carolina, Mark.
And Kate, people in Atlanta are very thankful that that is a coastal storm and not over the city because this weekend is Music Midtown. John Mayer, Lorde, Imagine Dragons kicking off the big acts last night in Piedmont Park. This was during the Imagine Dragons set. Everyone enjoying the music and the weather too. It was absolutely gorgeous out there last night. And you know what? It's going to be a repeat today. You're taking a live look here from the Coca-Cola headquarters in downtown Atlanta. Looking out in the skies, a broken cloudiness, some sun peeking on on through. But really, as we go through tonight, when Zach Brown Band and Eminem will be featured, the weather's just staying perfect.
It is, but I actually would go ahead and I'm a Southern girl, so I actually was a little chilly this morning.
Oh, come on.
I needed a sweater, so if you're heading out, you may want to bring a sweater with you later tonight. Just saying. I know, I'm getting the eye roll from the...
Or not.
From the northerner.
Or leave your shorts on. It's still summer.
I know, it is still nice. It is really nice. Not quite fall just yet, but we have some other fall activities that are going on that are pretty cool. How about this one in Des Moines? It's a World Food and Music Festival. That one looks pretty cool.
Do you think it's world food or world music or both?
I think all of the above. I think D, all of the above.
Sounds like fun. Great weather for it. In Los Angeles, you have the Sunset Strip Music Festival. Lots of music weekends this time of year. And so mid-70s, right through the bulk of the day, maybe get into the upper 60s if you're out late enough.
That's why you have them this time of year, because the weather's pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
And how about this? The Music City Food and Wine Festival. I would love to be there this weekend. To talk about beautiful mid-80s, sunny. Oh, it looks gorgeous.
Also a big weekend in the Adirondacks, the largest hot air balloon festival in New York.
And one very special balloon is making an appearance. Dun, dun, dun,
it uses the force to fly. The force.
What are you doing? The dishes are clean. Just gotta scrape the rest of the food off them.
Ew. How is that cleaned?
Dish issues? Quiet them with Cascade Platinum. It powers through your toughest messes better than the competition. The first time.
Clean.
Stop it.
Cascade. Now that's clean.
Here's to the man who truly is the best of us.
Who really has the key to the city? With best-in-class payload and best-in-class cargo capacity and an unsurpassed powertrain warranty, you run the town. The all-new Ram ProMaster. Guts, glory, Ram.
Monday on America's Morning Headquarters, a bucket list destination is on the verge of vanishing. Which one of our national parks is literally evaporating? And we're looking forward to fall, what you can expect this season in your part of the country. It's Monday, 7 a.m., the biggest weather hour anywhere. America's Morning Headquarters, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 86 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms with locally heavy downpours. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms early, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
For their biggest season yet. An all-new season of Prospectors, coming in December on the Weather Channel.
Toaster-strudel. More fruit in the filling. Yeah. Yeah. Warm, flaky, gooey. Toaster-strudel.
Now with more fruit.
I get goosebumps when I find a low price.
I let him know every time I save $1.
Every time.
Now there's a tool made for you. Introducing Savings Catcher from Walmart. It compares prices to top stores in your area.
No more driving all over town.
If there's a lower advertised price, Walmart will give you the difference on an e-gift card.
Oh, money!
Every penny counts.
Yep.
Try the Savings Catcher for yourself. Go to walmart.com/Savings Catcher and enter your receipt. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
Let's do some fancy footwork. Tap into new territory with style. Step up the savings and learn some new moves. Yeah, let's tango. Here, even here. Then, let's take a bow. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Modern tile, major savings. 12 by 24 ceramic tile is now just $148 per square foot.
At some point, no one was coming to help us. We needed to help ourselves.
A nightmare vacation has finally ended for a group of firefighters and their families from Illinois, trapped in a hotel in Cabo for days without power. Some of the firemen even stayed up at night to block their hotel rooms from looters. The resort town of Cabo San Lucas still trying to recover from Hurricane Odile. Locals are desperate for food and supplies. Big parts of the region still without water and electricity, and tourists have struggled all week just trying to get home. NBC's Joe Fryer is in Cabo with more.
This popular destination perched on a peninsula is no longer a magnet for tourists.
Cabo's destroyed, completely destroyed. There's nothing left.
A swift punch by Hurricane Odile was felt up and down the coast, a night Lauren Van Horn won't forget.
Really horrifying. It's a really high-pitched whistle and lots of banging noises as things are flying and hitting. We could hear pieces of the roof falling off, being ripped off.
At a private airport, hangars were leveled and planes twisted like aluminum cans. After major looting this week, the police and military now stand guard over stores and gas stations. Power is out, resorts are closed, and tourists are fleeing. Van Horn waited in line for 6 hours at the airport before catching a flight to Los Angeles.
We were on a Delta plane that fit about 150 passengers, and it was amazing to see them and get on that plane.
Throughout the week, tens of thousands of tourists have come here to the Los Cabos airport looking for a way out. Now, finally, the long lines here have vanished as those looking to escape have been evacuated by plane.
We're going home.
After catching flights on military and commercial aircraft, many tourists returned home to the United States. Nick and Ashton Forsyth are back in Chicago, and the first thing they'll do...
Hug the kids.
Hugs and not let go.
We're here at the airport, which was hit hard by the hurricane. This is the kind of damage we've seen just about everywhere we've gone. But here at the airport, some good news. It appears nearly all of the international tourists, including Americans who are trying to fly out of this battered paradise, have been evacuated. However, we just ran into a small group of 4 people who say they are still trying to catch a flight today to get back to Sacramento. Back to you.
Oh, tough stuff there. Here's a live look at Cabo San Lucas where it actually looks pretty nice. We don't have any rain coming down there right now, and I want to show you why that is, because Tropical Storm Polo is just to the south of there. Let's get right to this forecast so I can show you what we've got going on with it. All right, so we've got this tropical update for you. The reason that we're not seeing any rain in Cabo San Lucas, even though this tropical storm is just to the south, is that we have seen wind shear, basically some wind in the upper atmospheres out of the east going toward the west. So it's blowing all these thunderstorm tops, and it's making these thunderstorms basically just more like rain right now. Definitely not as high up in the atmosphere as they once were. And most of them on the southwest side of the circulation. So the circulation actually more here, but those thunderstorms on the southwest side, this is great news, terrific news for Cabo San Lucas and basically the entire Baja Peninsula, because this system has quickly diminished. We've got colder water temperatures there thanks to Odile. That helped turn up some of those deeper waters with those giant waves that they had. And so that actually cooled things down a little bit. This is expected to pass just south of the Baja Peninsula, is expected to diminish very quickly in the next couple of days and only have minimal impacts on the peninsula, Mark.
And tropical moisture from loosely tied to Odile is still giving us flash flooding right now. A flash flood emergency over Borden County in Texas, where they had over 10 inches of rain estimated. More details on this area next.
What if there was a credit card where the reward was that new car smell and the freedom of the open road? A card that gave you that I'm 16 and just got my first car feeling. Presenting the Buy Power card from Capital One.
Redeem earnings toward part or even all of a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac with no limits. So every time you use it, you're not just shopping for goods. You're shopping for something great. Learn more at buypowercard.com.
Am I missing a deadline? Will I get there in time? Am I going too fast? Did I close the garage door? Stay in your lane. I don't think I sent that email. I should make a reservation. I thought it was clear. Okay, brake. I didn't see that coming.
Its instinct to protect leaves you free to drive. Lease the Infiniti Q50 for $339 a month. Visit your local Infiniti retailer.
Okay, Patrick, one more stop. Let's go base, shark, blitz. Base, shark, blitz.
When the game's on the line.
Okay, this is for the game.
The NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
Block 19 hot. Abort, he's keeping it.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
Hershey's Miniatures. Choosing is half the fun. Because there's a little something delicious for everyone. Hershey's Miniatures. Choose your own delicious.
Lowe's presents how to make your guests think they're at the wrong house.
Told you we're in the wrong house. Go.
Mom!
Get 15% off in-stock Levelor blinds, plus have them cut to width for free.
Monday on America's Morning Headquarters, a bucket list destination is on the verge of vanishing. Which one of our national parks is literally evaporating? And we're looking forward to fall, what you can expect this season.
Back pain? Get the same kind of therapy without an appointment. New Smart Relief from Icy Hot.
Press a button and relaxing pulses quickly block even chronic pain. It's wireless and easy to use.
New Smart Relief from Icy Hot. No appointment necessary.
When muscle aches or arthritis pain grip you, break the grip with odor-free Aspercreme. Maximum strength medicine clinically proven to relieve muscle and joint pain fast with no odor, so all you notice is relief. Aspercreme. Break the grip of pain.
Every Sunday, it's a season of new challenges.
This family cannot function without you.
What if this doesn't work?
Then we lose everything. Plus, Dina returns.
I have a way with animals. Busted ones.
The Real Housewives of New Jersey, all new every Sunday at 8, 7 Central. Only by Bravo.
Amaluna from Cirque du Soleil opens under the Big Top December 11th next to Sun Life Stadium. Enter for your chance to win an Amaluna Tickets prize package at Xfinity.com/sweeps.
Looking for a new breed of broker? There's a name for people like you. Trade King. Switch today.
7 a.m. on AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms with locally heavy downpours. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms early, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Some sad news to start off things here. The body of a missing Texas sheriff deputy has been found. Senior Deputy Jessica Hollis's body was pulled from Lake Austin yesterday. She was out trying to help others checking a low water crossing, but she herself was swept away in her patrol car by the flooding. In about 10 minutes, we're going to show you just how dangerous even just a couple of inches of water can be if you are caught in a flooding situation. And unfortunately, we have another catastrophic flooding situation happening right now. We're in the lab here with Dr. Greg Postel, and Doc, over 10 inches of rain in some of these areas.
Yeah, the storms are just not moving. There's very high water content in the atmosphere, and you get thunderstorms that sit over the same place, and boom, you get flooding. We got flash flood warnings out now for Borden, Howard, and Scurry counties. This is until 12:45 p.m. local time. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these get extended.
And there's actually a flash flood emergency for Borden County, where some of the heaviest rainfall totals were estimated through this area. I mean, this is ridiculous amounts of rain.
Yeah, it is. This is a radar estimate, and it's being confirmed by some of the reports that we've got on the ground. So we have ground truth support for some of these radar estimates of 10 inches in 6 hours. I would not be surprised if there's more than that actually that's fallen.
And that starts to go off our scale. I mean, that, that white blob is so large because, I mean, we just don't have colors higher than that on there.
Look at this. Read this. Water is rising to resident houses, and some roads are impassable in the town of Gale, Texas.
And that was a measured 10 inches of rain over that area, and that was just one of many reports that we have coming in.
Yeah, and here's one where a pickup truck was washed off the road at the intersection of Farm to Market 1205. So the idea is very dangerous conditions right now in parts of West Texas with the flooding that's ongoing.
Yeah, absolutely, and we can actually show you a couple of different ways of seeing the setup here and why we're seeing this kind of intense flooding that's just repeating over the same areas again and again.
Yeah, you know what? These thunderstorms right here, this is the cluster of storms we're talking about. They're on the periphery of an upper-level ridge of high pressure that's sitting and spinning like that. Why these guys aren't getting advected or pushed downstream, it's not clear to me. What's happening is I think there's a front in the area, and these storms keep firing up right along that same zone. Some of them begin to push off there, but then new ones fire up right along that front. Just a guess right now from what we're looking at in the satellite, and certainly visible kind of shows that storms keep showing up and firing up over the same spot.
There's a bit of a like a mesoscale low showing up in that area as well, which is only enhancing that. You can see like a bit of a counterclockwise spin in there, which is only giving us more lift and more oomph to those storms, and that's why they keep firing off again and again over those same areas.
That is something else. And there's a stationary boundary that we've got analyzed on our maps right there, which is not moving much, and the moist flow in, up, and over that is problematic for Texas.
Yeah, that stationary front will be the focal point for those storms. Usually they ride along that front, Kate, and will progress south, but if they keep back building the way they have been, more flooding is anticipated, so we're going to follow that carefully.
Yeah, it's feast or famine there, it would seem. All right, well, it's been 7 days since Odile made landfall in Cabo San Lucas, but the intense moments during the storm are something that people will never forget. Storm chaser Josh Morgerman was in his hotel. We actually spoke to him on his phone just after strong winds blew down the doors and the windows. Here's a look inside the storm.
Just after 10 o'clock, we're probably getting the strongest winds we've had all night. We're hearing roaring, screaming sounds of an airplane going by. That's a sign of very high winds. This whole entrance, boom, completely gone. The furniture's not keeping up the winds. Oh, crap. Get under. Just get under. Oh my God. Stay in there. Stay under. Keep it. Holy. Wait, okay. Stay under. Are you okay? Yes. Okay, good. Is it safe in there? Okay, backside of this cyclone is much worse. This building is getting literally torn apart, and we're trying to find a safe place. Didn't even feel it.
Guys, I mean, that gives you goosebumps looking at that footage. And we did talk to him just after that, pretty shaken up. We've got more rain in the southwest today. We're going to tell you about the flash flood threat next.
There was no question she was the one. She reminds you every day. But your erectile dysfunction? That could be a question of blood flow. Cialis for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment is right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is also the only daily ED tablet approved to treat symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
What does an apron have to do with car insurance? Every time you tie in an apron, you make progress. And we like that. Because progress is what we make too.
I'm JANE, and I have COPD.
I'm DAVE, and I have COPD.
I'm KATE, and I have COPD. But I don't want my breathing problems to get in the way of my volunteering. That's why I asked my doctor about BREO.
Once daily, Brio Ellipta helps increase airflow from the lungs for a full 24 hours. And Brio helps reduce symptom flare-ups that last several days and require oral steroids, antibiotics, or hospital stay. Brio is not for asthma. Brio contains a type of medicine that increases risk of death in people with asthma. It is not known if this risk is increased in COPD. Brio won't replace rescue inhalers for sudden COPD symptoms and should not be used more than once a day. Brio may increase your risk of pneumonia, thrush, osteoporosis, and some eye problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking Brio.
Ask your doctor about BREO for COPD.
First prescription free at mybrio.com.
Look younger in 8 weeks. I prefer today. Clairol Age Defy Color Collection with our best breakthrough gray coverage. Lustrous, radiant color that looks 10 years younger. Today, Age Defy Color from Clairol.
Monday on America's Morning Headquarters, a bucket list destination is on the verge of vanishing. Which one of our national parks is literally evaporating? And we're looking forward to fall, what you can expect this season in your part of the country. It's Monday, 7 a.m., the biggest weather hour anywhere. America's Morning Headquarters, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 87 degrees, under mostly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms with locally heavy downpours. High 85. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms early, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
On AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Well, it's a college football Saturday with another great slate of games going on across the country.
But Mother Nature could crash the party in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Severe weather possible for today's matchup. That's going to be here, where you can see a couple clouds going on, and not too shabby as far as the forecast goes.
Yeah, the winds will be whipping, but you've got some sunshine, some puffy clouds in the distance, kind of ominous, because that could be your severe weather threat later on today. And how about this as a neat fact for that game? Michigan was helping to use a drone to fly in the game ball because it's the 100th anniversary of the School of Aeronautics at the Aerospace Department there. Just unbelievable.
Incredible stuff with the FAA, not the FFA, two different things. Yeah.
They have that there too, though.
They nixed the plan, and it's not because of the threat of bad weather. It's because there's a temporary flight restriction over all stadiums during games, obviously for safety concerns. Let's talk about the radar, though. Weather not going to be an issue for you right now.
Yeah.
However, ominous tone inserted here. Yes, we could see some thunderstorms today, and those could be strong to even severe.
And you know what? It's not just us who's watching this game carefully. Guess who else is going to be at the game? In front of tens of thousands of fans packing the stands at Michigan Stadium. It's that lady.
Stephanie Abrams! Come on, someone let me announce for a game. That's all I want to do.
The halftime show is weather-related, and Steph will be a part of it, and that is awesome. So congrats to Steph. That'll be a good time.
Yeah, like we said, kickoff is at 3:30 Eastern time, and this is what the forecast looks like. Spotty thunderstorms. Winds, though, Mark, we've been talking about this.
Yeah.
The winds out of the southwest at 17 miles an hour.
Definitely wind is the most challenging type of weather to play a football game in. It affects the kicking game and the passing game. Just a little bit of that timing gets thrown off, and all bets are off.
Yeah, you might have some problems with your teams today, so we're going to be looking at that.
And of course, you've been watching Weather Center Live, and we love seeing your pictures of how you're spending your weekend.
Yeah, that's hashtag your weekend. Here's a look actually from Mount Holly, New Jersey. This is our very own Sammy. Sammy came to visit here at the Weather Channel, and she was our very special guest for an entire day, and she is just the absolute cutest. You know what she's doing today?
Well, it's Mount Holly, and I interned at the National Weather Service there, so I'm guessing it's related.
Yeah, she's checking out that weather station there because she is just a weather nut like us all at the Weather Channel. She got to meet everybody when she was here.
It was one place that I can say I got my big start in weather, interning at the National Weather Service in Mount Holly. So Sammy's following in less than perfect footsteps, I suppose.
She's on the right path, I would say that. All right, well, I want to take you live to what's going on in Minneapolis because it's not a bad day right now where you've got nice sunny skies, not too shabby, but there's a problem. We could see some thunderstorms in the forecast. So let's get right to these weekend storms in the Midwest. We need to get you right to this forecast so that we can break down what's going on, because if you're going out to the game today and if you're heading out to play maybe go see the Twins play, you could see some big problems. So the